You want me to delete that channel? The council meeting room?
No, the Open Snowbird Meeting Room channel.
The
It's,
open Snowbird meeting room
yeah,
channel.
where it says it's under Live AMA.
Alright, I'll find it. It's gone.
Thank you. All
There you are.
right. Hello and welcome. It is the Snowbirds Meeting Room. I'm Shadow Spectre 11, and I'm here with SpaceGuy Ty and Tone. And today's focus is on the 4.4 PTU Evo patch notes and Jump Point magazine that highlights the Paladin and the Stinger. So, gonna go ahead and kick this over, get it started, and here we go. There we are. Okay. So, to start off with, this one is going to be about the Evo build. I cannot show anything. I'm not in Evo, but SpaceGuy Ty is in the PTU right now, and he's been to Nick's, and he's going to talk about. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free, throw them in the chat, and I will relay what's going on. But Tone, if you want to start it off, please feel free.
It will be nice to have somewhere else to go besides Pyro. My hopes and Nick's is that it's going to be heavily mineable and a jumping off point for a ship that can refine ore.
Okay.
That's where I'm headed for that.
Okay. Ty, he has seen the glacium ring.
If I have indeed, it's gorgeous. Speaking of the scenery, there's a lot of images that are in SC Leaks pipeline chat, stuff like that. I would advise people to just scroll past those. Don't click in them. The thumbnails aren't going to spoil anything, but if you really want to maximize your experience, then just wait until you can get in. Take a jump point to Nyx. Don't start off there. Take a jump point to Nyx. And then travel to Levski and kind of take it all in yourself. But that's just advice, of course. You do you.
Okay. Hey, Squirrel. We have a question from Squirrel. Do we finally get to kill aliens in Nyx?
Yes, I can report that the Vandal... I haven't done it myself, but I've seen many reports in Evocati chat and the global chat in-game of people killing Vandal in ships. Not in space.
Or not on...
Or, I'm sorry, not in FPS, not on the ground. I
Right.
haven't seen any reports of that. I don't know that it's not going to be a thing, but no reports yet.
Okay. The travel... is the jump point in this just like Pyro? That's from Miss Peaches.
Yeah, essentially, it's just another jump point.
Okay, where's the jump point located to go to Nyx?
They have turned the Magnus jump point into the jump point to Nyx. That's temporary, of course. Nyx doesn't actually connect to Stan.
Right. Okay. Have you landed in Levski?
Yes.
Okay. Please describe.
Uh, it's enormous, right? The asteroid itself is enormous. The bore, I had another guy I was talking to in a different org chat asked him and I tried to tell him how big it was, and he was like, "Yeah, but can you fit a Bengal carrier through it?" And I said, "Yes,
Mm.
absolutely." Um, like without a problem. It wouldn't even be tough.
Mm.
Um, like if I don't know those those space stations, those player created space stations that they showed off in CitizenCon 2024 had that basic kind of ring shape to them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course, I don't know their actual size as compared to the bore, but if you told me that you could fit a space station in that bore, like, you know, long, match it up orientation and just put the circle down into the hole, if you told me that was possible, I'd buy it. It's that big.
Wow. Squirrel. Any new ships part of the demo?
No,
Not yet. Not
no.
yet. We probably won't see any new ships until they'll probably do a pre-sale, baby squirrel. This is my speculation. They'll probably do a pre-sale, and then if you pre-order it, you will probably be able to fly it in the all backers PTU.
I've
Tone?
been asked. I've
Yeah.
been asked specifically about the Perseus a couple times from a couple different people, and I've spoken to Evo owners who own the Perseus, and it is not in game because they would have it if it did.
Right.
It is not in game. I would not expect to see the Perseus until like the very last test when when they're testing the event IAE.
Yeah.
They always test those. They'll run through all the events in a day. I wouldn't expect to see the Perseus until then,
Mm-hmm.
personally.
Any planets or moons that you can walk around in next? Not yet. Uh,
Correct.
that won't be. We won't be able to walk around or
Well,
explore any planets just on the first go.
I will say that there is quite a bit of acreage to explore in Levski. Some areas have uh, gravity plating, right? So you can run around the
Mm-hmm.
station. And it hints at a lot more. I imagine when the municipal works gets put in, that will add in a lot. But
Right.
there's quite a bit of space to run around there.
Okay.
And of
Any
course
idea?
you can go EVA and explore all over that asteroid.
Right.
It's big.
Any idea when next becomes publicly available? It won't be available until we get. I mean, I'll get a wave one, and then once it goes through its waves, it'll go to all backers in PTU, and then it will drop. Uh, I don't see it coming until close to IAE, and uh, they haven't really given a date yet, but that will be coming very soon. I imagine there's a lot of zones that are similar to contested zones, just like in Pyro. The new bases, right, Ty? The new facilities that are there when we go
The
down there. Yeah,
um, you mean municipal works?
yeah.
Those aren't in yet, and those are supposed to be instanced PvP areas, or not PvP, instanced PvE areas.
Okay. What kind of loot can I expect to fight over in PvE or PvP? We don't
I
know.
don't know. I've explored Nyx a little bit. I've done a few of the missions. I haven't had a chance to really dig into what loot is there.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Um, is anything over there large cargo compatible?
I would say yes. I don't know if it works though. I've got a whole C for testing, but I haven't pulled it out yet.
Got it.
Levski does have exterior cargo elevators, both
Uh-huh.
on pad. They have pads with exterior cargo elevators, and
Nice.
I think they've got 0G cargo elevators where you can pull your whole C close to it. I haven't really looked. Um, I will take a look for you though when I get there. I'll
All
look
right.
around.
I appreciate that.
Um, and also you've got the jump point stations, the one that goes to Stanton and the one that goes to Pyro. Of those are pretty much the same stations that we're used to. I
Okay.
would imagine they had the same sort of functionality.
Okay. Um, Everett, hello and welcome. He's saying hello to everybody.
Hey.
Hello, Everett.
Um, this question I do have. Now I know we're not going to get the tactical Armada battle yet. That's going to be a bit away. I would imagine around June, maybe. That's my guess. I don't know. Um, Flying a large ship in the area, is there going to be like issues where we're going through asteroid belts, a lot of asteroids, or is it kind of free open space?
No, I mean a decent. You can compare what I've seen at least of the glacium belt. You can pretty much compare that to like the thicker areas of the Aaron Halo, and that they are, the thicker areas. You gotta, if you're in like a whole C, which is the biggest thing we got right now, or an Idris, I mean, your pilot's gonna have to, you know, he
Navigate.
can't stop watching the road, right? But it's not gonna be difficult. As long as you
Okay.
keep your eyes on the road, you shouldn't have a problem navigating the glacium belt. Now, of
Okay.
course, around Nix, there are some places where the asteroids are pretty close together, but there's other paths all around the place. So,
Mm-hmm. Uh, Question from Squirrel. What are we dealing with in terms of number of different factions?
um, I don't. You know what? You've got the crap, the main Levski faction. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. Um, I don't think there's much in the way of competing factions over in Nix. I think that's kind of the point, right, where Pyro is constantly under combat and gang warfare. Nix is pretty much kind of controlled by the Levski
Well,
people
intersect.
and Intersec. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Intersec is a security, I think.
Right.
Now there are different companies and guilds that you can get contracts from, but
Mm.
as far as like competing, I don't. There's not really indication as to who's going to be competing with each other and how that's going to work.
Okay. Um, there were some issues that are being addressed in this patch that we're facing now, uh, which makes it really hard for us to do things. So, uh, there's one thing
Not right
about
this minute, but thank you.
multi-system kiosk performance. Getting clients will freeze commodities at the elevator transit issues. Um, Whole C not loading cargo. Do you know if anybody has gotten cargo with their whole C in the Evo patch?
People have. I know that people have. I don't know how difficult it has been or what their bug out percentage is.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that it has happened. It does happen. I would expect if it was me personally going into a new patch with all of this new content, I would expect your bug rate to stay the same or get a little bit worse. Just as a healthy expectation, right? Just keep a healthy expectation that the bug rate is going to get a little bit worse with this new patch, and then they'll fix things,
As they go.
hot
Right.
fix and stuff. Like historically, that's how it's been.
Everett says it's the People's Alliance of Levski.
Ah, that's right. Thank you, Everett.
Imagine the aliens. I imagine the aliens are the main threat. That's what Squirrel's saying.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Okay. Excuse me. What are the majority of missions that you noticed on the mission board? That's from Squirrel.
I can look at the mission board right now. I haven't unlocked very many of them. I've done a lot of kind of exploration and piddling around. But as far as... Oh, crap. I can't right now. I'm between areas, right? So I don't have comms. The only mission I have right now is Wicklow Collection.
Is that working?
You get that... I haven't tried it.
Okay.
I think it's the same Wicklow missions that everybody already has in live. I don't think there's any difference.
Okay.
But I just exited the jump point. I'm in Quantum to Levski now. I will pop open my mission and let you guys know when I get there.
Okay.
I can report I have done investigation missions where you have to go and find somebody's corpse to verify they're dead. There are box missions coming back, and I don't mean like in Pyro where you move from one part of the station to the other, but there are box missions that take you from location to location. Which is cool. However, they're broken, right? But it's an evil patch. I'm hoping they'll have those fixed by the time they come back. I think people can look forward to box missions coming back. If not when 4.4 comes out, at least a little bit afterwards. I'm hoping they'll have box missions fixed upon release, but it's CIG. You never know. They may still need a few hot fixes to get it working just right. Yeah, those are the only two missions that I've really tried.
Okay. Please describe the belt.
I will do my best to paint you a word picture because I don't think that would really spoil the experience for anybody. When you leave the jump gate heading for Levski, the first thing you notice in Quantum is slowly, it very gradually kind of happens, so you don't notice it at first until it starts to get kind of big, but there is a large blue line that kind of starts to become more and more prominent on your screen in front of you out in space, right? And which is like you're seeing a system-wide asteroid belt from a long distance away. You realize that you're actually seeing it. It's not like the Aaron Halo where it's invisible until you're in it. You can see it from gigameters and gigameters away.
The density.
Is
it dense?
It is about as dense as the
Aaron
densest
Halo.
parts of the Aaron Halo belt. Of course, it has it has varying densities itself. But around Levski, which I think is probably representative of the densest parts of it, it is about as dense as the denser parts of the Aaron Halo. That said, it doesn't look like the Aaron Halo. Everything is bathed in the blue light of Nyx. And there are streaks upon streaks. Think of it as a combination between the Aaron Halo, the rings of yellow on steroids.
Mm.
And all of the rocks, they're not all they're not all taters, right? They're all kinds of different shapes.
Mm.
You've got your taters, right? But you've also got your big lunks, and you've got your craggy, sharp ones. You've got rocks with holes in them, and
Mm-hmm.
you've seen some of that in the different mining stations around Stanton, things like
Right.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Glacium ring, Everett. Uh, Squirrel is asking, is there a definite jump gate where the aliens come from that we just simply cannot use on our end?
I don't know if it's a jump gate. I would imagine it is. They have to come from somewhere, right? I'm not going to answer that because I just haven't seen it myself. I can tell you that what they showed at CitizenCon, the red area that's like the danger area that you can see, the red nebula,
Mm-hmm.
you can see it pretty much from anywhere unless you're like inside a nebulous gas cloud where you can't see the exterior. Otherwise, yeah, you can pretty much see that wherever you're at.
Okay. Uh,
So it's like you'll kind of forget about it, and then you'll be maneuvering your ship for navigation or dogfighting or whatever, and it'll kind of pass by, and it's like, oh yeah, the Vanduul are here.
mm-hmm. Um, any alien foothold locations or fortifications?
Well, not as of yet. Remember, we don't have any planets. We only have Levski and the two Pyro gateways. I
And the,
think there are probably other POIs as well. I haven't been to them. They may be mission related. Speaking of missions, I'm at Levski and I can pull up the mission list. Um, Mercenary, the headhunters are here. They want you to set a trap for someone. Eckhart Security wants you to ambush someone. Citizen for Prosperity are here. They're looking for you to provide combat support to defend someone. And Intersect Defense Solutions, they're wanting me to eliminate a target, assassinate.
hmm.
Um,
Hey, B5 guy. Mm-hmm.
that would be a vehicle, a ship-based assassination, not FPS, because there's no planets. There's an investigation. Got to go find a body. I told you about that one. Delivery, box deliveries. I haven't got a single one of those yet, but there are 3. Bounty hunting. That's pretty much the same as
Mm-hmm.
everybody's used to. Is tracker training, permit certification,
Mm-hmm.
and interstellar hauling, which will be of use, of interest to some people. I have an opportunity to take, uh, looks like 48. Is it 48 and 24 and 20? No, 24 and 18. So 36. No, 42 SCU of cargo from Levski to Orison.
Mm. Okay. Um, Squirrel's asking, any known commodities for traders to come along and exchange?
Uh, I can. I'm on my way to land, and I will look and see what commodities are for sale here in Levski.
Okay.
I don't have an exhaustive list, but I can check Levski.
All right. Question. Uh, Everett's asking, have you seen the smuggler thieves area called the Moraine settlements scattered throughout the Glacium Ring?
I have not. If I run into them, I will let you know.
Tone, you got anything that you want to ask?
No, he's pretty much covered it. Will they? Well, you don't know because it's not in game yet. Never mind.
Well, ask your
Okay,
question. I
just
might have heard something on Spectrum.
throw it out
Oh,
there.
true enough. Is there going to be uh, tier A components for sale over there, or is that still going to be good luck find it thing?
I don't know. There is a ship component shop here. However, the terminal is broken. You can't even scroll it and see what all they have. Otherwise, I'd go over there right now and tell you if it's here in Levski. Um, but I don't know.
Hey, Everett.
Yep. Just me saying hi. Good morning,
Hey,
all.
Everett.
Good morning.
Uh,
Okay.
Oh, here's something that I think I mentioned to you before, but the asteroid, the hangar in Levski, right? There are a lot of com components to it that we're all used to, right? That you've got the doors and the freight elevator and the medical elevator, drone repair, all that kind of stuff looks the same, but the walls are carved out of the rock,
ooh, nice.
right?
Oh,
So it's
nice.
it's you have those things that are kind of protruding out of the rock where they were constructed.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the general vibe of the hangar is very different. And your ASOP terminal and gear storage are also kind of in a differently styled area.
Okay.
So there's a few differences.
Squirrel says, I cannot think of any other questions. Thank you very much for answering
Oh,
your questions.
You're
All right.
welcome.
Now, since we're being invaded by an alien species over there,
Hmm.
will we have the opportunity to either buy, craft, or steal alien furniture for our hangars?
Not craft. That's not coming in until December.
Yeah.
Well, I say December. That's when I think most people expect it. Is either
No.
late this year or early next year. I want to put it
Uh-huh.
out there. I haven't heard anything that anybody else hasn't heard. That's just kind of the expectation. So no crafting 4.4.
Okay. Well, I thought it would be
As
really
far as
cool to have a.
purchasing, I haven't seen it. I do know that there are like some cool armor sets you can buy in some of the outlying like Glacium Ring outposts, like someone was talking, like Everett was asking about.
Okay.
Only, only from what I've seen people talking about in chat, saying, "Hey, that's some cool armor. Where'd you get that?" And that's what they say. Like there's a guy just now, as I was talking about, walked past me wearing a Vandal skull for a helmet, or as a helmet adornment. And I don't mean the Vandal mask that we're all familiar with. I mean he had like a space helmet that the front
That
of
is
it
cool.
was a Vandal skull.
Mm, okay. Um, let's see. Uh, it, you've been in Levski. Is the statue there?
You are when you first land. Um, let's say you land in a hangar, like you should, right? You could land on pads and there are elevators, or you can walk. But let's say you go to a hangar and you take the elevator. When you walk through security and down that hallway, you are greeted with the statue. It
Mm,
is
Nice.
obviously set in a place of reverence. Matter of
mm,
fact, it moved me when I first came up and saw it. It moved me to the point that I walked up, centered myself up on it, and threw a salute emote because it just felt like the thing that needed to happen. So yeah, it's there, and they did a really good job of making it have an impact.
I
I'm not going to do a whole lot of describing it because I kind of want people to see it for themselves.
Right.
right. Hey, hey, Chiggy. I hear just in and out. You're you're here just in and out. Okay. Um, question. Now, this is for me. What shops have you been able to go to? I mean, the kiosk may be broken, but there's supposedly quite a few shops around.
Right. Well, the only kiosk I've seen that's broken is the hospital pharmacy doesn't display anything, and the ship components and weapons, which showed like one page, but it was all misaligned and didn't respond. But everything else, like there's as far as I know, everything else is working. You've got security checkpoint. Oh wait, sorry. I can kind of look. You've got the Grand Barter Market, which has a bunch of little kind of shops. You can buy tiger's claws here. You've got, buy little fruits and food and sustenance items. Conscientious Objects is the name of the weapons shop. Cordy's Armor and More obviously has armor and more. Cafe Moussain is the bar. And then you've got your refinery, ore sales, and supplies, which is kind of a combo refinery cargo center area.
Mm-hmm.
But you pretty much got all of the services you're going to need at Levski. Maybe not every item you want,
Okay.
but if you need a good gun, you'll be able to find a good gun. Might not be exactly what you want, but it'll do.
All right, Squirrel. Have a good one. You're welcome.
See you, Squirrel.
Okay.
And there
Quick
goes
question.
an Idris down into the borehole.
Idris. Here we go.
Yep, Idris just flew right by the window here, down into the borehole.
Nice.
Can you explain the borehole, or is that something you can't talk about?
Dude, imagine just the biggest hole through a big rock. I mean,
Got
that's really what it is. It's
All right.
you see the pictures from CitizenCon.
I don't want to, but
20
okay.
Well, from CitizenCon like 2022 or 2024, right? When they
Yeah.
talked about Levski and they showed the Kraken coming up out of it. I mean, we all
Okay.
saw that. That it hasn't changed from that.
So basically, what we saw the year before
Right.
is there. Okay.
Yes.
And then they showed the during CitizenCon, they showed the inside of it and doing that. Okay.
Is there any well, when you go through the borehole, is there any places where people can dock or view or just stop and then continue on, or just
I mean,
straight through?
There. See, let's say the main part of Levski is at the top of the borehole, right? There's not an up and down in space, but let's say the main part of Levski is at the top. When you start to go down the borehole, yes, there are some hangars that line it a little way down into it, but not even a third of the way. And then they stop, and then it's all rock and basic like structural framework all the way through to the other side. And then there's some structure on the other side, but you don't. As far as I know, there's not really any entrances on the back side of the borehole. I mean, when I say entrances, I mean entrances to Levski, the station proper.
Okay. Everett, you got any other
Yeah,
intricate?
one more question.
I knew it. Go ahead.
Are the missions the same in Stanton as they are in Nix for salvage or whatever?
I haven't seen any salvage missions.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard. I kind of went down a list of the missions I could see. For the most
No,
part,
I
the
was
mechanics,
10 minutes late.
No, that's all right. For the most part, the mechanics of the mission seem about the same.
Okay.
The scenery is going to change. The only thing that really, the biggest, most notable is the idea that you can take a cargo mission and it has to go through a jump point. There's one that goes from Levski to Orson.
Any navigational hazards like in space for like in Pyro they have the solar flares, but what do they have in Nix?
Nothing. I mean,
Okay.
nothing of that vein, right? Of course, when you're in the asteroid field, you want to not run into rocks, but other than that,
This is true. Thank you.
Did they fix the SRV so that you can pull out of armistice zones without getting violations?
I don't have an SRV to test anything, but I doubt it. I haven't heard anything about it. I wouldn't count on that being fixed.
Okay.
Eventually, in time. This question: have you heard anything about mining at all?
It exists. I don't think there's any difference as yet. Into mining, there might be a difference in the composition, right, and what kind of rare materials you can get and how many. But for I don't have either the knowledge or the expertise to give any kind of any kind of educated answer on that. I would recommend waiting for Red Monster and his Red Legion to gather all of that data and put out their analysis. That would be who I would go to for that question. As far as the mechanics of mining go, as far as I know, nothing's changed.
Okay.
Is there a refinery?
Oh yeah, I'm in it right now in Levski.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm trying to find. The commodity market. Was it in the Grand Bazaar and I just missed it, or the Grand Barter and I just missed it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. We'll find out.
And if you cause a crime, do you go to the jailhouse like normal, or do they have their own area?
I don't think the crime stat works the same way here. I don't know that it doesn't. I haven't committed any crimes.
That's okay.
I haven't
Please
run
don't.
across. Yeah, I haven't run across any. Of course, in Evocati, PvP is not allowed. Non-consensual PvP is not allowed. And I haven't run across any bad guys or any NPCs that were neutral that might get me a murder charge, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, I just have no idea how the crime is going to work.
Okay. Since we're not sure if there are contested zones or anything like that, and the loot pool, we have no idea as of yet. Because going into this situation, and if there are going to be, well, we know there are some things that are going to be instanced on those new stations, and going there, you have to be careful. Going there, you have to be careful. While
Okay,
you're
so
inside, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just come across something interesting, and I didn't notice it before, but it seems that players have been taking some of their, you know, unique items like the wooden roosters from
Mm-hmm.
the Year of the Rooster. There's a Pico, a snowboarder Pico, a party Pico, you know, a jar of cookies, you know, all those little knickknacks and stuff that we've got, and they've been laying them down around the Anthony Tanaka shrine.
Mm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's
I
kind
like that thought.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's really hard to. There's so much in my head that I'm trying to like filter stuff to be able to ask kind of a specific question, but right now things are so. I can only envision certain things in my head and then try to voice it.
Well, I can save some people some headache right now, just a little bit, right? When you get to
Okay.
Levski,
Yeah.
the main elevator that goes up and down between the two level, or there are four levels, four main levels. The main elevator does that. It operates like a tram, right? There's no button you have to push. You don't call it. You have one that goes from 0, then 1, 2, 3, and then all the way back up to 0.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one goes in the reverse order. So they run opposite each other, and they run one way and then loop back up to the top or all the way to the bottom. But the point is, you just wait for the one you want, like you would wait on a tram.
Okay.
I saw a lot of people in chat asking about, so are these elevators automatic? Where's the button for this? You know, they just didn't know.
So
So that's one. a little annoyance that I can clear up for people before
Okay.
they get in.
Okay. Is 0 where the ASOP terminals to get your ship?
No, 0 is essentially your main exit um, to the outside, to the exterior of the station, where you can walk around or go EVA. 1 is where customs is, where the elevator for your ship lands.
Okay.
Also, the elevator goes between the hangars and customs, also goes to Teach's ship shop,
Hmm.
which, as far as I can tell, is not accessible any other way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Everett, anything else?
Can you see all the jump points in there? I mean, there's supposed to be like 6 of them, I think.
The only ones that are in are one to Stanton and 1 to Pyro.
Okay.
You say 6 jump points, but remember, there's only going to be 5 systems at 1.0.
I understand, but I'm looking at the map. There's
you're looking at the ArcStar map?
Yep.
Yeah. No, they're not.
Okay.
They're not in. Just 1 to Pyro and 1 to Stanton.
Cool.
Morning, Lone.
Hey, Lone.
Morning.
Let's see.
Howdy.
What else? Well, the traversal through the jump point is just like going to Pyro.
Yeah, I mean, it's randomized just like that one is. I found it no more or less difficult.
Okay. When you came through, was there a lot of debris on the other side where you could run into something?
No. There's a little, right? It's the jump point to Pyro from Stanton, right? Pyro Gateway Station in Stanton has some asteroids and debris around it, but not a lot. It's not like the Pyro side where it's just littered. It's comparable to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Lone, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I moved my mic. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. You got a question?
Good morning.
Hey,
Hey,
Chicky.
Chiggy.
Is it Levski yet?
Oh my
It
God.
is. It's Levski
No,
for me. I don't know about
It's
you.
Brightski.
Oh my
Levski
God.
Runsky.
Okay, you two. My goodness.
What? Hey, I haven't even started yet.
Oh. Well, we're in the Snowbirds meeting room, so if you've got questions about 4.40 or something like that, please feel free.
I don't have questions, but I have noticed a few differences. Little subtle things. Yesterday when we had to get our lasers and our modules for our mining ships again, and found that we didn't have to fight with them to get them off the loading bays anymore. For those of you who have ever tried to get a module or a mining laser off the cargo bays, and you had to like drag them around the edge to try and get them off the platform.
Okay.
Well, now you just pull them straight up. You don't have to drag them to the edge and try and fight with them to get them off the platforms anymore.
Okay.
That was one thing, and I don't know if it's the laser themselves or if it's part of the prospector, but there's also now an extra red X when you're mining, when you're in fracture mode, and it helps you really pinpoint your laser
Now,
a lot better when you're mining.
That's nice.
What patch are you talking about?
He's in 4.32.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure because I haven't tried out mining. I didn't know if maybe Lone had Evo access too.
No, he does not. Not that I know of.
I noticed.
Oh, it's good information. I just hadn't been mining in 4.4 yet, so I didn't know if
Right.
that was stuff I needed to look out for.
My
No, I just noticed it yesterday because, as you guys know, I haven't been on for months, and we had to, reconfigure our prospects. And instead of, trying to drag the modules off the loading decks, off the, when you bring them up, and the hangers
mhm.
and the I don't know what the loading bays or whatever the hell you call them. I'm not awake yet.
um,
Um,
Houston asks or says, my only concern is if the whole C is fixed. From what Space Guy Ty says, he's heard from people that it is working. It,
Well, no, let's be clear.
yeah,
What I've heard is I haven't heard anything to say that it's any better or worse than it is in Stanton right now, right?
Okay.
So just like in Stanton, you can get it to work. I know you can get
How?
it to work. I don't know if it's more or less reliable.
okay.
So I just want to clarify that point.
Thank you.
Whatever issues that he's having with the whole C, I don't know if they have been fixed to their satisfaction.
All right.
Okay.
The current issues with the whole C is when you go to pick up or drop off a load, it literally won't activate the load manager.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I can find the place to buy commodities, I will buy a whole bunch of them and try loading a whole C and see how that works here in
Well,
Levski.
you can, okay.
Okay. Chiggy, I know you were around when Levski
Oh
was there before.
yeah, I miss Lepsky.
Okay. Question. Any questions for Ty on what he's seeing right now?
No, not really. I pretty much got an idea what it looks like and what's going on with it from just watching the videos over the last couple days. Guys, you know, guys in there and they're talking about it. They can't show anything obviously because NDAs and all that, but what they're talking about is like, okay, yep, all right, all right. The loading and unloading of cargo is going to be interesting. There's going to be, I hope there's a lot of bays because there's going to be people fighting over those things.
I got a question. Are we still able to auto load and manual load? Do we have a choice?
As soon as I figure that out, I will let you know.
Okay. Um, Everett, you got any other thoughts about the
No, sir.
the area, the culture, what we're going to be going up against, or anything like that?
Nope. Thank you, Ty, for all the answers.
You're welcome. As far as the culture and vibe goes, right? Imagine like the station is obviously old and on the outlaw side of things, run down. It looks very jerry rigged, but it's not a trash heap, right? It's old, it's worn out, things are put together with spit baling wire duct tape, but there's not like trash laying everywhere like there's in Pyro.
That's going to be a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. So if you're out there mining on your own in the belt, are you going to be susceptible to vandal raids like constantly, or is it just kind of in certain areas? Or
We don't have
No.
any information on what that's going to look like yet.
Okay,
I haven't heard of anything like vandals raiding in random spots. Like if you just find a random place out in the belt that's away from anything and everyone, you just just don't know.
okay,
Well, other than what they talked about in Star Citizen was that there are some places you can go where it's kind of known that there's some good commodities there, good minables. But of course, everybody else knows too, and the Vandal knows. So you might come across them.
right.
But as far as just
what
random
features
areas out in the belt, I don't know.
Okay. Um, I'm interested in knowing about the interstellar uh, hauling. You said that they did have one that you saw from Levski to Orson
Hmm.
for 45 SCU. That's probably an intro. Will
It is. Yep.
so it will escalate once you complete that.
I would imagine so. I have not completed it. Hold on, excuse me. Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. I would imagine it does. I haven't completed it to confirm that myself.
Okay. Any any stuff from others about them actually being able to complete one?
Let me pop a question in his global channel and ask.
Okay.
I can't remember the guy, the streamer, but there was one yesterday that I was watching, and he said he went from Levski to I guess it was Magnus. It took him about 31 minutes or so for the entire trip. I was like, okay.
Travel time?
Yeah,
Going through the jump gate?
going through the jump gate and getting there. Yeah, he said it was like 20. I could have swore it's like 25, 30 minutes or something like that. I'm like, what?
Wow.
No, it's not even close to
With
that
the
kind of
with
distance, right? You know how far the Magnus jump gate is to, unless you got a
yeah.
really slow quantum drive, right?
Well,
But
yeah, I was thinking maybe
yeah,
you did a couple jumps and stopped for fuel a couple times, and
yeah,
I was like,
maybe. Yeah, that's
but
definitely going to have a lot to depend on what kind of quantum drive you have, how much fuel you have.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay. That's something that I'm definitely going to test when I get in there. Uh, what others?
Okay, so I don't know if you want to, well,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
never mind. I thought I found the commodities kiosk, but I didn't. I'll ask again if I can find it.
Okay. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Spider-Man.
So, how's everybody doing?
Good. What are you doing? How you doing?
Oh, just the same, just the same.
Just the same.
Okay.
I did some salvaging this morning. I did a redeemer. I went through it and I looted the shelves from all their water and stuff and the cans and everything else, and I couldn't take anything else out because I was still in the armistice zone.
Hey, Super, what's up? Okay. Any other questions that you guys have? I mean, Ty, you haven't done any combat or anything like that at this point. You've just been exploring and checking things out. I know you have the cutter.
Correct.
I know you have the cutter.
Mm-hmm.
What was the quantum range?
Okay, so the cutter stock, I started from ArcCorp and I had to make a refueling stop at Crew L1 before going on to Magnus, right? But that's the stock drive, right? Usually in live, I put an Atlas. I know that the Arrow stock can go all the way from Area 18 all the way to the next jump point.
Mm-hmm.
In one go.
Mm.
So they're both size 1 quantum drives. I can't imagine the Arrow has more fuel.
Mm.
So I imagine that with the right quantum drive, any size 1 quantum drive can get, wherever you need to get if you put an Atlas in it.
Okay. Super says, I want the RSI Hermes to be an overgrown Intrepid. Okay. IAE ships. New. Crossing fingers. I know we need a large, what was it? Salvage ship? Or a medium size salvage ship. That's what we're looking
Okay.
for. Yeah.
So I have found the commodity shop. Let's see what's available. Ooh, scared me for... Oh, crap. It locked up and then kicked me out. Let's try this again. Okay, looks like you can buy a Grecium barrel, construction materials, iron, and that's all that they have for purchase right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go have my whole seed delivered here. I'm going to both take an interstellar mission and try out the auto loading.
Okay.
We'll see how this works. We'll just check it out.
Okay. Anybody got questions on the patch notes of 4.4 PTU? I do have them up. And while we're waiting on Ty's report on that, Jump Point Magazine. Has anybody taken a look at it? Gone through it? If not, I do have it up. It does have the behind the scenes of the Paladin and the Stinger. What was done with it. Also, the Genesis Tech, which is a hot thing right now. So, in Jump Point Magazine, from the cockpit, they're showing the Stinger. Then a shot of the mountain that's in Genesis Tech. So the Paladin, first ship in the Jump Point Magazine to pop up, and they've got the specs, the different the different concepts that they had. And the ship evolved greatly from what it originally was supposed to be. They've even got some cutaways on it. The design is totally different from what we have now. Because originally, there was supposed to be no cargo on that ship. None whatsoever. So, getting the 4 SCU for what that ship is supposed to do, that's cool, because you can put a couple boxes on there, or you can put 2 SCUs or 4 1 SCU boxes on there, and when you go down, do bunkers or looting or whatever, you have something to put them in. Getting them in is a little bit tricky. I did have some issues trying to get a 2 SCU box on there, but I was able to get it in and go from there. From what I'm seeing with the cutaway that they did on this, it changed dramatically. This wasn't there. They put the stairway in the middle. In this one, it looks like it was over to the side. And then they brought in the cargo area, but they took it out and then they brought it back in. So as time went on, while they were working on it, it changed a little bit. So it looks cool. Chiggy, have you been in a Paladin yet?
Yeah, I flew one around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't spend a whole lot of time with it, so I don't really have too much of an opinion on it.
Okay.
But seems like an okay ship. It's not, my cup of tea, but I didn't take it into any combat or anything like that. So I just kind of took it up, flew it around, and took it back down and stowed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, like okay, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, but if it doesn't have a lot of cargo space on it,
No.
stuff for activities, then I'm like not really that excited about them.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's a cool looking ship though, but I like the fact that there's a pilot and a co-pilot.
mm-hmm.
I believe if I remember right, instead
Yes.
of having just the one seat. I hate that in a ship that size. But just a pilot kind of just for some reason it irks me. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
Hold on, Shadow.
Yeah.
Quick question. Now, I don't do Hull C stuff very much, or really at all. I don't have a Hull C. I'm sitting here buying the iron. I'm selecting 32 SCU crates. I've selected 4 units. Estimated loading time is 155, but I don't know that I've selected automatic loading. So that's just normally automatic with a Hull C, right?
Chiggy would know more than me.
Like
No, you should pull up and call. Call for an area, and then you'll see that box show up.
Someone is at the front door.
Right, but there's no option for manual loading in a Hull C because you can't load them.
No, not in the version that we got right now. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna buy that,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna pull the Hull C out, and you guys continue with your conversation. I'll pull the Hull C out and see what's happening.
Okay. Everett and Tone, they went out with me on a Paladin run, and yes, I got blown up on the first part of it, but after that, once we got into combat, Everett and Tone, your thoughts on the Paladin? What did you think of it?
I like it. It is a great little multi-role ship. Unless you are, surrounded by a bunch of fighters, then will find out its weaknesses real quick. But if you're tooling around the universe, it's really good.
I agree. Also, the fact that getting used to the guns, it wasn't so hard to line up the targets. Once you adjusted course, it was easy enough. So I had fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The maneuverability on this ship, you need a crew to really make it effective. It is very slow on maneuvers. Due to that's what it's for. It is a support vehicle. It is not a fighter. So don't expect to just go into a massive furball and survive. You will get dominated if you're by yourself. You have a better chance with a crew. Proven. Like I said,
There are better ships for the purpose than that one.
Right. Now, using the turret, in space, I could see the turret being utilized more on the top But when you're down on the deck and you're coming into a bunker or something like that, where there's ground forces, with the turret under the ship. Now, as a I haven't done this yet, and it's something that I'm going to look into more when I take the ship out again. Uh, the turret under when it's underneath is going to be very effective in that aspect. I'll find out. I haven't really had a chance to do that as of yet. So I was with Beth one day, and we decided to go over to Hurston near Dupree and do a mission there. There were so
Yeah.
many turrets there. There were so many turrets there that we were getting slaughtered, and she actually was able to take out 9 turrets before we got downed. So it's a beefy ship. It can take a lot of damage, but once you're hit, that's it. It's a done deal. So you really gotta know how to go NOE uh, before you get to a bunker or any type of area that has turrets, and then do a pop up on them. That's how I see it.
So would you upgrade the shields?
I did.
Okay.
They took a heavy pounding, but I mean, when you got 9 turrets shooting at you like that, one after the other,
Yep.
it you're not gonna get enough time to regenerate. And I mean, I veered off and went back around, and then went in again, and they just keep pounding you. So it depends on how you're going to use the ship. If you go in high, expect a lot of AA. If you're going in low, you got a better chance. That's just my thought. Uh, there has to jump to the Stinger. There has been a lot of controversy about the Stinger, and I have one. I've flown it. It's a good ship. The maneuverability on the ship needs to be a little bit better for a heavy fighter. Uh, to me, right now, and I'm going to say it, the F8 and uh, the Ares Starfighter has more maneuverability than this ship at this point. Oh, NOE is the way. You got to do it. You got to do it nap of the earth. There's no way you can get a paladin in there without going NOE. I mean, that's what I've been seeing, and that's what I've been going up against when I take the Stinger out. Uh, I was able to get my target and take out a few of the others. A tribunal. Um, when I did go against an arrow in that ship, and I was doing everything that I possibly could, and it just flew. It just went all around me and just lit me up. There was nothing I could do. Now, if I went decoupled, I probably could have gotten him, but my engines were damaged, and I was just doing spins when I was applying power. So you got to take out your main target and then either get out of there or take your chances. But it needs more maneuverability in turns and things of that nature. Uh, Anybody else got any thoughts about the Paladin, or if you have a Stinger, uh, give, throw some stuff out there, put it in the scenario that you've been in, and give up some thoughts. Ty is working on the Hull C thing in the PTU right now, or the Evo PTU, and we'll find out what he's got to say when he has something to say about it. Just let us know.
Okay, so on my way to the hangar, when I got in the elevator,
Mm-hmm.
I also went ahead and just, crap, there it is. Looking for the entrance to this whole sea. It's been so long since I've been in one. Anyway, on my way, I stopped at what's called the exterior freight elevators, not
Mm-hmm.
pad, not hangar, exterior freight elevators.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped off at one of those, and first off, they were the first two were kind of broken because there was something blocking the pads, right, and I couldn't send them down. So, they're susceptible to that, so we're gonna have to deal with that nonsense again until CIG can fix it. Hopefully, that'll be something they learned and can address before it makes it to live.
Mm.
Um, but that freight elevator holds 2,560 SCU.
Say again? How much?
A lot.
2,560. Essentially a whole C's worth. I can't remember exactly what the whole C can haul, but it's in that neighborhood.
Wow.
Hull C is upwards of 4,000.
Oh, is it? Okay, you might have to do that twice then.
Yeah, it'll be a 2-load trip.
Yeah,
Mm.
but still.
Well,
It's a lot.
you could bring up one half of it on the elevator and then bring up the other half to finish it and then go, right? Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you got that tractor beam on your
On the
on your
whole
whole
C.
C, that tractor beam station.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Super says the Stinger needs to cut weight for maneuverability or needs more burst speed. Agreed. In order to facilitate current bounty targets. I agree with that. It needs more. It needs more maneuverability. Uh, Plain simple. The burst speed is not bad to me, but I noticed that when I'm in combat with it, I reduce the limiter to get more maneuverability out of it. So when a fast mover jumping around me, I can kind of track where it is, but it's still not fast enough.
Oh, also, you remember when I said that there was structure at the back end of the bore, and I didn't think it was for anything?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the freight elevators, the external freight elevators.
Oh,
They're on the
okay.
opposite end of the bore from the main station area.
Okay. Okay. I can go along with that. That sounds cool. Okay.
So let's see. I'm about to call
Mm-hmm.
the cargo, Levski Landing Control Cargo. Do I have a marker? It's giving me 10 minutes to get to someplace, but I don't have a marker to tell me where to go.
Go to external view and look for a big white square.
Oh, it shows up in external view?
Yes.
It should, yeah.
Oh, I'm not seeing it, so let's go through the bore
Mm-hmm.
and see if it might be down through here somewhere.
And while Ty is doing that, in the Jump Point magazine is Genesis. Okay? The new Planet Tech. And they show some things that they did show at CitizenCon, what it's going to be like. This tool that they're going to be using, what they're going to produce with it, and different things like that. Everybody's been waiting for jungles and swamplands and things like that. Uh, they did say that they're going to be using Genesis in Nix, in the Nix system, when they start bringing the planets in. So we'll see it firsthand when it comes. So definitely look out for some PTUs coming. That's going to be a lot in 26 with bringing in planets and stuff like that for Nyx. And we may see some reworks on some planets in Stanton and Pyro. I don't know.
Any word on the DirectX 12 versus hopefully
Vulcan.
install versus the Vulcan graphics?
I don't know if they're going to go to DirectX. They may keep it 11, but to be fair, and I'd wish they'd do this, Ty, you know right off the bat, was Vulcan the default?
I'll have to look and see. But I found the cargo box. I'm maneuvering inside it. Alright, I'm stopped. Space brake, make sure I'm completely stopped. Open up the spindles.
I take it you found the load square.
I did. It was next to the
Freight elevators.
freight elevators, where that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You must be stationary, waiting for extension of spindles. Spindles are extended. Connecting cargo transfer. Cargo transfer complete. And I visually confirm I have 4 SU of iron.
Nice.
Or 432 SU boxes, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm going to exit. And what was the question? I'm sorry.
When you started up 4.4, did it default to Vulcan?
Vulcan. Let me look and see what we've got. Graphics. No, it did not.
Okay.
Which makes sense since Vulcan was in a tech preview and not in a PTU test.
Right, but you said that in the tech preview it was defaulted. I remember that.
Okay, so we might have a problem here because it says I'm obstructing. Okay. Yeah, it says I'm obstructing a landing area, but
You got to get out of the way as soon as your ship gets
I
loaded.
mean, I am. I'm moving. I'm way out. I'm way out from the. Okay, it finally stopped. Okay, looks like you gotta get some pretty significant distance before it
Tries to boot you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a little freaky. I wasn't really blocking anything. But alright, so my next thing is I'm gonna try and take that cargo mission.
Mm-hmm.
That interstellar cargo mission. And I'm gonna see if I can load the hull C from those exterior elevators. I mean, I'm reasonably sure I can, but I want to see how that works.
Okay.
So you guys talk amongst yourselves, and I'll get this going.
All right. The Asperia Stinger, behind the scenes. From what I see in the concepts shots on this, we had nothing. We had no clue that this ship was coming out at all. It went directly to flyable. There was no concept art, no nothing on the Stinger. We just got a lot of speculation and things like that. There was nothing. And then, boom, there it is at SitCon. And if you got the ship during SitCon, you could fly it into PTU before it went live. If you put the right things on this ship, if you put the right weapons on it and upgrade what you need, it can be pretty formidable. But like I say, it needs more maneuverability. Uh, you can change out. I believe that the missiles are bespoke, and also the plasma cannon. No way to change it, but you can change the other weapons. Uh, I imagine eventually. Now, I don't know this for sure, but the blade is supposed to be able to change its weapons at a later date. But I would have to get a blade to check that out. Um, they're in game, so you can buy one in game. They're pretty expensive, to be fair, but I like the blade. It was a cool ship when I had it couple years ago, and it took a lot. It took a lot for that ship to go down, and the damage on it was pretty significant when I was going against fighters and stuff like that. So it all depended on what you were going to do with it. Everett, when
Sir.
when we were looking at the Stinger a while back, and I was talking about upgrading things and changing some things out, there are some people that are saying that the ballistics were the way to go on with that ship. Now, to me, I like repeaters because I don't like running out. uh, I leave on my F7A. I leave the ballistics on it until I am pretty confident that I'm not going to lose things that I buy right now in the PU, and I'm holding off on those. But I did make some upgrades this patch. We'll see if they hold over. When I did the video on the Stinger and you watched it, how did you think you felt about it? I know you don't have it, but when I did the demo on the ship, what did you think with the changes compared to what you saw with its stock?
It's kind of hard to give an answer to that because I'm not actually flying it. You need to feel your ship too. So
Yeah.
when you're making your turns, by changing out the ballistics, it was lighter from what I understood because it seemed to turn better and the ratio turned. But other than that, that's the only thing you did do to it. I don't know what components you changed out and
Well,
if it's faster
the
or not.
coolers, I changed the coolers, the jump, the quantum engine, and the power plants to give it more capacitor power since I put all
Okay.
repeaters on it. Yeah.
So, did it change the weight of your ship?
I'll be right back.
To me, I think it did, because I got rid of the cannons. I went to repeaters, and I think cannons are heavier. And once I got rid of the cannons and went to the repeaters and put more into the weapons, it seemed to me that the ship was a lot more maneuverable because the cannons are heavier. to me. But with ballistics, you would have to add the weight of the ammunition to go along with that. You get what I'm saying? I don't know.
Oh, I get what you mean, because you didn't have to have the extra weight for ammo, and also it took away some of the weight for having the ballistics. So
I mean, weight
yeah,
is
without flying it from stock to your modified.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find it?
I found a significant difference getting rid of the cannons and going with the repeaters,
Okay,
because
so
the cannons take more time to fire, so they have
yeah,
they're
they need to
heavier,
spool up.
right? Where the repeaters, I found it to be more effective with the repeaters, and I still had the power of the uh, plasma cannon, which once I changed the power plants and the coolers and added more power to the weapons, I had more uh, time to fire, and it was much faster. So yeah, I found it to be better. Let's see. Any other thoughts or questions about this ship? If while Ty is working on his adventure in the PU or doing the cargo with the ship.
Yeah. The other thing is, with your ballistics, do they fire their weapons like the wolf? Instead of
I didn't.
causing torque to the left or right, do they spool inward?
I never changed them. I never changed to ballistics on the Stinger. Now, uh, we know there is a new wolf coming out, the L-22. That is what has been said from leaks. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Mr.
Hey,
Army.
Mr. Army.
Hey, Mr. Army.
Hi.
Um, there's supposedly a new ship coming out called the L-22 Wolf Alpha, and it's supposed to be a heavier ship than what we have now. We also have the Hermes coming out, which could be the cargo variant for the Apollo, which that is coming. Let's see, what are the other ones? A Gray Cat MDC. Don't know what that's going to be, but it's probably a vehicle close to the MTC. Then there's another Drake ship coming out called the Clipper. Have no idea what it's going to be. And then we have the RSI Salvation. Yeah, which could be a salvage ship. Don't know. Not until we get closer to IAE when that drops. So
If I was going to lean on the name of that ship, I would lean more toward medical assistant.
Salvation?
Salvation.
Okay. It could be a salvage ship, though. We don't know.
Big one would be kind of nice. A medium between the Reclaimer and the Vulture would be awesome.
Okay.
Or a refinery ship that is a tag along would be awesome too for the miners.
Well, refineries, mobile refineries have been a thing for a while. We're still waiting for the Orion.
Right.
Don't know.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. So, any thoughts about what we're speculating about with the new ships? I mean, we know the Perseus is going to drop. So, at this point, but the rest of them, we're still not sure what's going to happen. So we'll see. Ty is still working on that.
In the jump point now, heading to Stanton with a whole sea that's opened up.
You'll be fine.
First time I've ever done that.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be difficult.
No, it maneuvers surprisingly well through there.
So how much cargo do you have on it, Ty?
Oh, I just popped, what's 4 times 32? 128 SCU of iron.
Okay.
You know, just test cargo.
Okay.
Whoa! That was an asteroid in the wormhole near the exit.
They do that.
Mm.
Yeah. It's the first time I've ever encountered it.
Miss Charmy, we can hear your stuff in the background. What's going on? No worries.
Sorry, I turned my mic off.
No worries. Hey, Wastelander, what's up? So, Miss Charmy, last night you got to go against your Mondi. It was your first time. What did you think of it?
It was fun. I mean, it's kind of like doing a bunker, but better in a way.
Uh-huh.
So,
Well, you hadn't been to the ASD facility before, and this was your first time going there and going through it, seeing what it was like, because that was something that was brought into CitizenCon a while ago, and they finally brought it into the game. So, what did you think of it? What did you think of it all the way around?
well, I mean, technically, that particular one is not my first one. I went to an ASD over in Pyro.
Okay, it's totally different. There's no undergrounds or anything like that.
No, that's
over
not. That was more above ground.
Right.
Completely different. But the dynamic rain, the dynamic weather over there was crazy. The one from last night, though, I mean, I thought was actually quite cool. I mean, it's definitely different. Navigating it when you don't know what's going on, I mean, I wouldn't recommend going there by yourself for your first time, or, you know, even only because you don't know. It's like you get lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, though, I mean, it was actually quite interesting.
Well, good. Because you hadn't been in the game for a while. You went over to Pyro 1 with the Grumps, and you checked this out. And I didn't know if you wanted to go, but you went with us, and you thought it was cool. And you enjoyed yourself, and that is the main point. What's up? Welcome, Tex.
Thank you.
Ty is running some cargo in the Evo PTU for 4.4, and he's given us some interesting stuff about what he's encountered so far, and he's doing an interstellar run from Pyro.
So I'm just gonna
to
drop
Stanton.
this. I'm just gonna drop this iron off at the gateway on the other side of the jump point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't need to go all the way to Orson just to sell this stuff. I did not pick up the mission because I realized that even if I load mission cargo up on the Hull C,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a way to offload mission cargo at Orson, right? Because there are no external freight elevators at Orson, and you can't land a Hull C in a hangar when it's got cargo on it.
Right.
Correct.
So
Orson has to have
I had to make a
something
change.
for that. Yeah, but Orson... Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sure they will in the future, but for right now, for testing, I just wanted to let you know I didn't take the mission cargo. I took the mission, but I didn't grab the mission cargo. I have to go back and get that. We'll see if it opens up to other missions.
Okay.
That would be a nice quality of life add to the Orison stations that have external pads. A loading elevator for bulk cargo for the beginner that may not be able to deal with the bulk cargo loads in their load manager.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Say, for instance, I buy a hull C. I'm moving freight back and forth, but I'm only doing the little 50,000 K missions. It makes that ship useless unless I can unload them at somewhere.
Is
Well-
the dock on the port or starboard side of the hull C?
It's on the port.
Port side.
Okay.
Um.
And it's literally right next to the door you use to go up and down.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I thought.
Your best bet's to auto dock.
Still, Orison is the platforms. It's floating in the sky. They've got to, if they're going to do interstellar stuff like that, Orison's going to have to facilitate the whole sea in some way.
All right, here's my thing on that. I like where you're going with Orson having a hull C dock. The hull C doesn't have strong enough thrusters to carry a load into Orson's gravity well.
Okay. Chiggy?
Either
Yeah,
make
that's a good point.
Chiggy flies the whole sea a lot when he was flying it. So, go ahead, Miss Charmy. You were saying something.
I was gonna say, unless they want to modify something with the thrusters to give them a little more oomph, but you're talking about changing something dynamically with the ship, and I don't think they're gonna do that.
They may
Orson
have
needs
to.
Orson
If
will need a
they-
sky hangar or elevator.
They may have to, because if they're going to have contracts going there, they're going to have to do something about it.
Now, here's an idea, and it's already in game.
Shoot.
The PAF platforms that have the laser in them are high enough up against the high enough up so that they are potentially a dockable resource for in-game use of the hull C and a gravity well, be it Hurston, Stanton, or Microtech, or Orson,
Mm-hmm.
and it's already in game.
Okay. Anything else about Orson that we would like to see or change?
Miss Charmy was going to say something before I accidentally walked all over her.
No, you're good. I already said what I need to say.
Okay.
Not close the whole C doors from the exterior of the airlock? I guess not. Oh well. It's
The
Evo, no
second-
one's gonna bother me.
Well, if you have to, the second door you go through, you can lock that one. What were you going to say, Everett?
Nothing.
I didn't want you to be talked over. It happens.
No. I talked over Charmy, and I
Oh.
apologized for it. I thought
Oh.
I'd just cut her off. That's what I said.
Okay,
I'm good.
well, I was just
Thank
making
you.
sure.
I appreciate the thoughts, but no, I'm good.
Radium says Orson and other planetary cities aren't meant to be large-scale ports. That's why they're having floating ports above them. Either they add those to the cities or space stations for the other corps. Good point.
Well, normally I would agree, except remember the whole reason Orison exists is because it is a great place. It is in the lore a fantastic location for a shipyard for large ships,
Mm-hmm.
which make
The whole
Which
sea,
makes me think that, yeah,
or
they
not the
should
whole
be able-
sea, the
yeah.
Hercules. Yeah.
if large ships, no, I mean capital ships. Like they used to the UE Navy manufactured capital ships there
Mm-hmm.
because of its position in the atmosphere along with its low gravity, which isn't really how gravity works, but hey, this is the lore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the lore tells me that you should be able to fly a hull C or another capital down there and dock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had the Javelin docked there many times.
Right.
I will try
Already.
that when I get in game.
I mean, now I'm not saying you can do it, right? I don't know what the thrusters do or don't do, but according to the lore, it should be possible.
Mm-hmm.
I know that when I took my whole C down to Lorville, I had to go in backwards like a rocket, so I had enough thrust to actually get out of the gravity well.
Shipyard means ships are built and repaired. Ports are where cargo is handled. Exactly.
I mean,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I get that, but the fact is, they manufactured large ships. They had to get them out of there. They had to fly them out. That was kind of the whole point in the lore.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's whether it's right or wrong. I'm not trying to say it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that that's what the lore says, and they either need to retcon the lore somehow or make it to where large ships can go in there.
But I mean, if I can take 890 jump down there, and I've done it. I've flown an 890 jump and I've docked in Orson. You should be able to take a whole C and dock on at a docking port. So,
Well, the docking port could be a higher elevation than the actual Orson area, and that's where you use the MVR or what those personnel transport ships, and the other ones are the tractor beams where you can move cargo back and forth, and they can move the cargo back and forth from Orson to the shipyard or the dock and port.
Isn't there 2 cities on Orson? On Crusader?
two
There are
cities?
several landing platforms, but only one landing zone, right? All the other platforms in Crusader's atmosphere were built for like PvE engagement zones.
Ah.
Basically little sieges of Orson, but they have long since
Stopped using
that.
them.
Yeah, they've stopped using them a long time ago.
Not saying Wastelander said. Okay, Radium says shipyards means ships are built and repaired. Ports are where cargo is handled. And Wastelander says I like sticking to the lore for sure. And Radium says again, not saying large ships shouldn't be able to go into Orson. I'm saying that Orson isn't a port for massive cargo handling. True. But if they're making the mission going to Orson, they're going to have to accommodate for that. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. First off, that clarification helped. I understand what he's saying now. But remember, Shadow, that mission that I picked up was only 48 SCU.
Right. It wasn't that large. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Starlancer could do it, or something smaller can definitely go in there. It's just you're not going to be able to take.
Well, your Starlancer's going to get a hangar.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can take larger ships in there, but not the kind that you can't go into a hangar with. If they have to have docking ports, that's right. Is the problem. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, Area 18 isn't a port for the whole sea either. Right. So you would
None
have
of them
to.
are.
So you would have to go to Bajini Point, right, to dock the ship with the cargo, and the cargo would be transferred to Area 18 in another way. But that's where you would dump off at Area 18. Also, the same with Port Tressler. You would have to go to Port Tressler to transfer cargo to New Babbage.
Or Everest Harbor, or.
Even Seraphim Station. Seraphim Station, you can dock a whole sea there, and then the cargo would be transferred. The wording in the mission needs to say you would dock here.
That would be nice.
I mean, that's my thought, how that would work. anybody else got any thoughts about Orison? What it would, how we would change it, or what we would like to see, or leave it as it is? And the wording in the mission has to say you would go to this particular station to complete your mission. I think that would clarify a lot of things, because a new player would try to land at Orson. They would try to dock there. That's just my thought about that.
Yeah. People that aren't familiar with the game, but how many new players are going to be driving big old ships like that either, though?
No,
A
they're
lot
not.
of them.
A lot of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe not the vast majority, but there are a lot of people who bought these ships long before they were even in game. So, and aren't going to be, first time they get in, they're going to want to take their big ships out and do things.
So
They'll be crying across help across the chats too.
Yep.
How do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah.
Why is this not working?
Mm-hmm. So
Spend a moment and watch a video.
well, next week, I've talked to Radium, and he's taking out the Idris, and we're going to be doing carrier ops, flying off the Idris into some adventures. So next Saturday, that's next week's activity. We're going to need a crew for the Idris, and those who want fighters, we will be able to land. But remember, we do not have refueling capabilities or rearming in the Idris as of yet. And that engineering will be brutal for solo flying those big ships. That's for sure. Ty, you got some engineering in the 4.4. Is there engineering in it, and what is it like? Have you encountered anything?
Okay, the engineering was a tech preview build several days ago, less than a week. It's not in 4.4.
Okay.
Right, engineering is not a feature in 4.4.
Okay. So not there yet. Okay.
Okay, so current status, I don't seem to be able to transfer my cargo. I went to the kiosk, I sold the iron ore on the Hull C, but I can't, it's not recognizing that my ship is stopped in the loading zone.
Okay.
It keeps
Sometimes
telling
I have
me,
sometimes I have to lock down the thrusters so that it will eventually go, oh, yeah, you're not moving.
you mean turn them off completely?
No, there's if you in your keybinds you can actually shut off your thrusters without cutting off power.
Yeah, turning engines off. That turns thrusters off by itself. Yeah,
Well,
I.
yeah, but okay.
Is that what you mean? Just hitting the I key and turning thrusters
No.
off?
I'm going into so that I can actually tell you what keybind it is.
I usually hit X and it just fires them all at the same time and studies the ship.
Yeah, space brake. That's what I've been holding to try and get stopped.
If that doesn't work, I put my gear down. That'll stop you.
Can you put the gear down with a Hull C?
Wait, it
Yeah.
started
If
moving
it's
it
not,
a little bit and then stopping again.
yeah,
Seems to have,
triggered
I
it.
guess, triggered it.
Yeah.
So cargo transfer complete. I visually verify. I have nothing on the spindles.
Nice.
So I'm going to exit the cargo area.
Okay.
Make sure you go back in the mission and submit it, because sometimes it doesn't give you the cache.
Wait, so you can do it with a mission? Well, I couldn't unload it. I couldn't unload the mission cargo at Orison, which is where the mission was. This was just some commodity iron that I had bought.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
the mission takes you to Orison, and you can't unload at Orison with a whole C.
Hey, Ty.
Yeah.
If you go under flight movement, go down to where you see space break. Right underneath it's going to be lock, pitch, yaw movement trigger toggle. That's what I hit, and it puts the ship in place.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else got any comments about the if you got questions about tech preview, Ty was in there with engineering. Any other thoughts that you got, like questions about it? Because that's gonna be huge. Fires and all that type of stuff.
Well, what? Here we go. I have a question.
All right.
In reviewing the tech preview, Ty, would you say that as RSI has said that it was going to be, did it seem to function somewhat how they were trying to describe that the engineering would be? Like being able to put the fires out, or did they even, I mean, when you say tech preview, what were you able to try out?
Well, that's difficult to say. The tech preview, it came out late. I only had a couple hours in it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And most of that time was spent on the ground in the hangar, just kind of playing around with the interfaces, routing power to different places, turning things on and off, hitting different switches to see, what did what.
Gotcha.
I can't impart much in the way of engineering because I'm not sure I understand what I saw.
Well, that answered my question.
That non-answer.
Hey, look. If you didn't get a chance to do anything, you didn't get a chance to do anything. Nah.
No, I mean, engineering, the way they've described it, and the different things that we're going to be encountering in there.
I will say this. I saw nothing to make me think that they are that it's going to be different from what they have tried to tell us it will be. Right? What I did see seemed consistent with their stated goals.
Okay.
Cool.
There was some notes from the tech preview. Excuse me. There was also stuff about land claims this week. There was a lot.
Yeah, that was a huge info dump.
Yeah, it was. I can't.
The fact that land claims are going to persist across a region and not necessarily across the whole universe, all regions, that's going to make a huge difference to how orgs play the game.
Big time. Okay, here's something. Okay, the tech preview. Ships. Power management of items through engineering screen, through MFD. Engineering screen is active. Room overview. Notification of failure. Power management. Creating presets. component turn on and off control, diagnostic screen MFD, overall overview of all components, one-time repair through button click for completely broken items to allow single-seaters a one-time off repair, critical state and health overview of all components, on and off control of all components, heat management of items, overheated components will shut off to cool down again, life support management, affected by fire, affected by venting the ship, fires on ship, fires can spread, fire can be triggered through overheated components, fire can get triggered through damaging of components, shooting components with energy or ballistic weapons, fire can get extinguished, venting of rooms, or fire extinguisher. Info right now. Temperature needs to be brought down to prevent reignition. Relays connect items throughout the ship. Relay function changed and it is not in yet, so goal. Fully intact relays allow the full power throughout. That means each fuse that gets destroyed will reduce the total power available to the ship. No more Asian or Euro servers for Shadow if our org base is in USA. Although someone mentioned this Evo patch had engineering, must have misunderstood. That's what Radium says.
What was it? Repeat that.
Although thought someone mentioned this Evo patch had engineering, must have misunderstood. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, the tech preview was Evo only. So it I came like when they were putting up messages for the PTU, I was confused too. I thought it was another tech preview for engineering for some reason, even though I went back and looked and it clearly said PTU, not tech preview. So yeah, it's easy. That's an easy confusion to make.
Okay.
What the hell?
Relays are not the hard weak point anymore, where if you lose all fuses, you render that part of the ship dead. Component damage. Welcome back, Miss Charmy. Ship weapons will penetrate the hull and damage the components below. Component death will result in component not being functional, but it can be repaired. Power plant can go into a critical state that will make the ship explode. Cannot be countered yet, but it is supposed to get countered through repair or removing the power plant if possible. Armor of ships is not in yet, didn't make it in time. Weapons balancing. Updated weapon balancing to account for penetration and new damage. Ship component balancing, full new balance of components, heat generation new, update of health, damage resistances. FPS. Repair gun now repairs components, repair rate updates, RMC consumption update. Fire extinguisher cools down and extinguishes fires. So that is in there. Hey Scott.
I'm gonna drop for a few minutes. I'll be back later.
Is Nix? No, Nix is not in wave 1, Scott. It's still in Evo. But Ty has completed his little mission that he was doing with the cargo on the Hulsey, and it did work for him.
Yeah, with a little fighting. I would expect Hull C drivers. If I was a Hull C driver, I would expect no real change in how well the Hull C works.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. Well, that was basically it to know what Ty's encountered in the Avocado PTU. And unfortunately, he cannot show it, but he was able to talk about it, give me some thoughts, get some questions in. He answered some questions about what was happening and what was going on. Excuse me. Has anybody else got anything that they want to ask before I close this episode of the Snowbirds Meeting Room out? None? Welcome back, Miss Charmy. I don't have anything else, Ty. I appreciate you coming in the Snowbirds Meeting Room. You're always welcome, and thank you for telling us about what you've seen, what you've encountered so far, and actually taking a whole sea out and checking it out.
you're welcome. Happy to do it.
How did Levski look? Did you get a chance to see it? Yes, he did. Ty, could you run over Levski again?
I'm in Levski right now. I would say the easiest way is just to say that Levski is going to look about like you would expect it to based on the CitizenCon 2024 presentation. The borehole is absolutely ginormous once you finally get into it. It's kind of insane how big it is. But yeah, it's right on track with the CitizenCon presentation from, I said 2024, that one, and what they showed, last month.
Okay. For those that have been to Levski before, when it was there, because I never was able to go to it. It was gone. And Ty, I know, wasn't in the game when it was there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to start comparing it because I never saw that version of Levski.
Chiggy would know. And he's been in the game. Everett, did you ever go to Levski?
No, sir, it was a hanger rat.
Hanger rat.
Well, I only had 8 gigs of memory, so at that time.
I will tell you this right now. The problem with the Hull C always getting a docking port when you want to store it in a hangar, that's consistent. That's still happening. I wish I'm going to go auto dock and store the Hull C, but I wish I could get a hangar to just land in.
I was around at that time and it was great. Can't wait to see it again. That's from Wastelander.
Yeah.
If I remember descriptions correctly, it's always been described as just kind of this rocky orb out in the middle of nothing.
Yeah, very pointy.
It's a lot more interesting than that.
Yeah.
Now. Well, I can't wait to see it because, like I say, I've never been there. I wouldn't know what I've seen from the citizen cons and stuff like that, and people telling me about it. Ty, when you go to when you bring up the ATC, what is it like?
There's no voice. It's just
no voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Because from what I gather, back in the day, Chiggy, didn't it have a voice?
Yeah, the Rasta guy. Yeah.
I heard he was funny. I heard he was.
Yeah, he's like a little Rasta, like stoner dude. Yeah, it was pretty cool. That's funny.
Oh,
Yeah, there's no voice. It's just like in Stanton right now, where you call for it and then you get a little beep and you get a marker.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's supposed to come back. I remember them saying something that he was coming back or something
Mm.
at some point, but to be seen, I guess. But yeah,
Wasteland.
Levski wasn't. It was a cool place to go, but it was. I mean, the borehole that the whole complex sat on the rim of it. It was it was like a mining operation, like you'd see on big mining operation you'd see here on on Earth right now. Just a big hole.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go all the way through the planet or nothing like that, and it was relatively small. Wasn't a whole lot to it.
Well, it
But
goes all the way through now. And do you
yeah, yeah,
remember a few years ago they had the fleet flyby where it was like a Bengal carrier and several Idrises and Polarises and all kinds of ships flying around Stanton.
Mm, vaguely, yeah,
That whole fleet could go through the borehole with no issues. They would be a little
oh
close,
yeah,
but it wouldn't be
yeah,
a problem.
yeah. I saw some standoff video of it, and there was God, what was it? I can't remember the ship that was going through. It was one of the bigger ships that we got now, and it looked like an
Polaris.
ant.
Polaris.
Yeah, it was probably. I think it was a Polaris, and it looked like an ant
Mm.
crossing from one edge to the other. It looked pretty tiny. So that hole's massive.
Wastelander was asking, does it have the music? Ty.
Dude, the music is fantastic. Well, okay. Inside Levski, there is no music yet.
Mm-hmm.
On approach to Levski and in the Glacium Belt, of course, we've got the fantastic music that we've gotten used to from Pedro.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And Wastelander said, yeah, the ATC was hilarious back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
I'm all good. I don't have any other questions or anything like that. I just can't wait to see it when it hits wave 1. I will, when I go to wave 1, if it's possible, I will spawn in Levski and then make the transfer, the jump from Levski to Stanton and back, and then pick up a mission there and try it out. Anybody else got any thoughts before I close this Snowbirds meeting room out? Because I know Miss Charmy's husband Rocky is dying for Levski. I know that he's been waiting for that to come back.
He missed an opportunity to pop in here today, didn't he?
No, he can't get into, or he can get in here and talk about it, but Miss Charmy comes in and checks on stuff and things like that. So that is it for the Snowbirds meeting room. Thanks to Everett and Chiggy and Lone and SpaceGuy Ty and Tone and Tex for stopping through, getting questions and giving some thoughts on things and all that good stuff. So today I will be getting the Beast back online, and hopefully by tomorrow before tomorrow I should have the OBS up and running, and I will stream after some testing today. I should be able to stream from the Beast and get back to what it used to be. So everybody have a wonderful Sunday. I will see you all next week for the Snowbirds meeting room, and during the week, I will be doing some stuff. But Friday, like I say, Saturday, I will be in with Radium and setting up carrier ops with the Idris, and possibly bring along the Polaris to do some of the missions in there. So, everybody, thank you. Thank you for your support, and have a wonderful Sunday. Take care.
Everybody.
Shadow Spectre 11 hailing. Thank you for the likes and the views.
That's all, folks.
Remember to tickle that notification bell so you won't miss our next videos. Thanks again. Shadow
Still got
Spectre